I am going to make some faux or fake stained glass. I'm going to use a piece of transparency film here. Transparent, it's see-through. And I'm going to keep it on top of this piece of paper, like a placemat. It'll help it stay put while I'm working. I'm also going to write my name on the piece of paper. And now I'm going to take some Mod Podge here and using a paintbrush, I'm going to start spreading Mod Podge all over my transparency film. Mod Podge is a special kind of glue, and it dries clear or transparent. So I'm spreading it on the transparency film only. I'm being super careful not to go over the edge and onto the paper with the Mod Podge, because if I do that, I might end up just gluing my transparency film down onto the paper, and we want it to come off. So don't go over the edges of the transparency film with the Mod Podge. Okay, now that my Mod Podge my transparency film is covered with Mod Podge, I am going to start laying down some tissue paper. And I'm going to do it super gently, because tissue paper wrinkles really, really easily, and we don't want too many wrinkles on our work of art here. So notice how I'm laying it down, and then I'm just using like the tips of my fingers to very gently press it down and flatten it out. So lay down your tissue paper in any kind of color pattern that you'd like. I would suggest, because some of the tissue paper is going to overlap and the colors will mix, that you lay down analogous colors next to each other. So colors that are close together in the color wheel. So once you've got all your tissue paper down on the transparency film, you're going to take your Mod Podge again, and you are going to gently brush Mod Podge all over the top of your tissue paper. Now this might be a little tricky at first because, like I said, the tissue paper loves to curl and wrinkle up. So what I suggest is being extremely gentle with your brush, applying very little pressure. And then also kind of brushing in the direction that will help flatten out the paper. So if you notice the paper's wrinkling, if you're making the brush go one way, just make the brush go the opposite way to flatten it out. We just want our tissue paper covered in Mod Podge. And again, this will dry clear. So even though it looks like I'm spreading white stuff all over my tissue paper, it'll kind of disappear as it dries. All right, so this is going to go in the drying rack on the paper. So lift it all up just like this on the piece of paper.